So my first instinct when Polly said we should talk about our hobbies this week was to talk about cosplay. But given as all my cosplays right now involve painting myself gray, and I really don't feel like doing that, I'm going to talk about a common side effect of cosplay. My wig collection. I'm going to be going from most expensive to least expensive, and I'm going to say, how much each one cost and, sort of the story behind it. This one right here is my Miku wig, which is kind of funny because I don't actually cosplay Miku at this point in time. But this was a wig that was worth originally about $100, which makes it the most expensive wig in my collection, but I only paid about $35 for it because my friend was selling it for $70, and then I split it with my friend, so I paid $35, she paid $35, and all was well. It's a really cool wig. I did have some plans to cosplay Miku when I first got this. I don't know if those have really fallen through or if I just am going to do it later. But even if I don't, I'm definitely going to hang on to this just because you have things like that, the split in the back, which makes it look really, really natural when you let these pigtails down. And I don't know, it's just a really good looking wig in general. I definitely am going to hang on to this for a while. It's very quality, really nice. Okay, wig number 2. Momo. This one was $90, and I commissioned and paid for this all by myself. It's got detachable pigtails, so I could replace it with something else if I wanted to go raving or something, which is kind of a big appeal behind it. And I don't know, I really like it. I also am going to be using it for March Eridan, which means nothing to you if you don't know Homestuck, but this is the purple streak for that. It's got attached to a hairpin. And yeah, no, I got this off of commission. First wig I actually ever got off commission, and the only one to date, and I'm actually really happy with it, so I'm glad that worked out. It's back over there. Third most expensive one is Eridan. This is not something I got off commission. This is something I made myself with about 3 of these. It was definitely a bit of an adventure making this wig. Learning about a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't even know how to do before. I made this entire fake hairline right here. Wigs don't come like this. I had to make this up myself. And there's just a ton of hairpins in it still because that's what I've been using to hold the hair up while I try and hairspray it into place. All the base materials cost about $50, but I'd say the fact that I spent about 2 weeks styling this sort of adds up in its price. Also that, and the fact that every single time I wear it, I have to come home and fix it up again, because a lot of the layers, especially in the back, have a tendency to fall down. This one right here was also worth $50. I'm not really nearly as partial to this as I am to any of my other wigs, which kind of explains why I'm trying to sell it. But I wore this just once. This is my very first cosplay, but it wasn't very good, so I don't feel any particular sentimental attachment to it. And as a friend of mine is probably going to unload this off me soon, but while it's here, it's about 50 inches long, blonde. Bought it off of Cosworks. The material's a little kind of dry at this point because it's so old, but I don't know. I think it still looks pretty good, and it could totally be used still. I just have elected not to. Goes down on the ground. Next most expensive one is the one on my head. This came from Japan and was about $30 plus about $10 shipping, so that makes it $40 total. This is by far my softest wig. Not even a question. This has been through a couple really windy days, and I still can store it just fine without a wig head. It detangles that easily. Although I think I might find some conditioner because the ends are starting to get a little ratty. Fun fact, my hair actually used to be about this color before I started dyeing it, so it's sort of fun when I want to go back to that. Also, this is sort of what I want to grow my normal hair out to at some point. Next most expensive wig is Dita, who's sitting right here. She's another one of my non-wig-headed wigs because keeping these things all in their little rows took a lot of hairspray, so she doesn't really tangle at all anymore. This was the first cosplay I got any sort of recognition for. Not really internet recognition, but I had people at the con being like, "Oh, you did Dita, that's so cool," and it was sort of a big confidence booster for me, especially since it was my second con. I don't really have any distinct plans to wear her. I think I might get a new wig if I do, because this is not nearly volumized enough to be accurate to character. But it was still a really cool experience, and I'm very, very glad that I have that. I probably won't be selling this, though, because it looks kind of ratty. Next most expensive wig at $30 comes in Timothy. He sort of gets all stuck out of place if I stick him in my lap, but he's too short to be in any real tangling danger, so he makes the third wig that I store without a wig head. I used this for Tim from Marble Hornets. I don't know if any of you do Marble Hornets, but it was, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. This was when and my girlfriend at the time was Slender Man, and that was just about the coolest thing ever. That was the first, that was probably the first, and to this date only, showstopper cosplay that I've really had a part in. And that was actually just a very cool experience. I'm definitely going to hang on to this, especially because this year for the Day of Silence, I'm going to be cross-dressing in honor of my trans and other non-binary friends. So, but especially since this is really my only boy wig, because Aridin doesn't count. He's ice cream. This is my only boy wig, so I'm definitely going to be hanging on to this for a while. After that, and actually at my least expensive wig, fun fact, comes another 50-inch one. Now, this seems really contrary, especially because this one's actually in much nicer shape than the blonde one is, just in terms of how the ends feel, but I got this on super clearance sale for $20. And I don't regret it for a minute. This is a really, really very nice wig. I used this for number 3 from Codename Kids Next Door, which did not get recognized as much as I thought it was. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. But it's really long, kind of be very, very versatile and useful. I could totally cut this into something else and use it really easily. So yeah, that's my wig collection. There's a whole bunch of other stuff I have about cosplay that I could sit here and talk about, but this video's already gone on for 6 minutes, so I probably should cut this off. So yeah, bye guys.